Hey everyone, this is Bridget, and today we're going to be talking about the law of attraction, but deeper into the subtleties of really this universal principle, getting behind kind of just the basic visualize and then you manifest what you want, but going into the deep infrastructure so that we can really utilize this tool of reflection for manifestation and also for soul expansion and really understand it. So first and foremost, what is the law of attraction? Well, it's like attracts like, so it's your own energetic vibrational magnetism that then creates a projection in the reality construct from source to interact with you, to engage with you, and to show and reflect certain things so that you can expand or learn or see your own godhood. So there's a lot to it. Now, in day-to-day New Age world now, it's been kind of morphed into this thing that the ego loves to just manifest, whatever you visualize, like $1 million or something like that. But it's deeper than that, and it can be utilized on a much actually grander scale than even that. And so I wanted to go into some of the pitfalls and also some of the things to look to so that we can truly utilize it for all kinds of things on the physical plane, but also the energetic plane. So let's get into it. So here are my top 5 ways to really utilize the law of attraction. And number 1 is this idea of resistance or non-acceptance to the reality that is. So if we have this idea that we want to manifest this thing in our external world, that inherently on the physical plane means that we don't already have that, right? So if you're wanting, let's go with the $1 million idea, it's the most popular one, or the sports car or something like that. It's like, if you don't have the sports car in the physical reality, then that means that you don't have it, right? And this is the key of the law of attraction, is getting into the vibrational state that you already are that energy. And we're going to get into that. The idea behind that is truly knowing that you are infinite and that you have everything already. That you are everything already. Because to get to this space of master creator, which is what we're doing, we have to get to that place, which is also the acceptance of the place that we're at, which might be, not having that money or sports car or that relationship or these idealistic things that gets us going in this idea of law of attraction in the first place. So ironically, the first place to begin with the law of attraction is the acceptance of what is, the acceptance of where you're at, and the acceptance thus of what is manifesting into your external reality. So it's almost like surrender is the prerequisite before you can even begin to manifest. Because if you have this need or this want to have something, that means that you don't already have it, which then screws up the whole thing, because then you actually manifest wanting and needing as your vibration rather than just having it all together. So acceptance of what is in this moment, and then not neediness, but going into that God state to where you're like, I already am everything. I'm good just because I exist. And this is where you can go and watch my knowing state video to get into that frequency, because that is the core root of really what the law of attraction is all about. That's what it's trying to teach us, is that we are the generators of this projection reality matrix. Number 2, we attract on all levels of the spectrum, from the mental body, but also from the sub, the unconscious, our life theme template. We're attracting from that space. And so this is where we're going deeper now from the generalized kind of surface concept of, okay, create this vision board and just visualize it, every day, this thing you want, your dream life. That is one aspect. And I think that people kind of get a little bit frustrated when nothing comes of that, because what is behind that and where you're really wanting to go is to get to the blueprint template of your life theme. So you might want that amazing relationship or something, but it's might be written literally into your soul blueprint that relationship is your challenge. And there's these kind of, whether it's energetic, astrological, but also just constraints that you've put on your own soul's understanding of that flow to learn how to relate, to learn how to connect, so that that's blocked so that you can learn it. So if you're, say, in this particular situation, then you're like, oh, visualizing a relationship. It's like, dude, your mind and your conscious self is trying to compete with your soul theme blueprint. And that's where we're just gonna kind of like run into the brick wall. So what we're wanting, what we're being asked to do by the nature of this is to go deep, and go into the sub and unconscious, to go and figure out your soul theme. And thus what the challenges are that you set up for yourself time and time again. Now, this is gonna take, again, this kind of backing up, this overview perspective, and again, non-attachment to what's happening in the game, what's happening in the physical reality that you're manifesting in, to back up and go, okay, I'm seeing that trauma and abuse is something that continues to come up. Let's heal that. And why did I choose to have that come up a lot in this life? So starting to ask those kinds of questions and identifying these certain themes, bringing them to awareness, can then start to shift them, start to automatically bring them into clarity, because you're coming into awareness. That's part of it. It's like, this truly is a game, and we're at these different levels, and it's like, okay, are they gonna figure out that this was the challenge of this level of the game? And it's like, boom, they figured it out. They brought it to the conscious level. Great. Okay, now you're on to the next one. And so identifying that. And this can go into a lot of the different categories. That's why I do a lot with like the past life stuff, the ancestral stuff, looking at these different things, your inner child, all those energies, whether if there's certain traumas or if there's certain patterns, they're deeply woven into the greater morphogenetic field of your energetic body. So you might be projecting with your mind like, I want to live in Hawaii by the ocean, but it might never happen because you have this greater field of energy coming from some other aspect of what you chose to say, no, I don't believe that I can have that kind of life. I don't believe that I can have something good happen to me, or I need to self-sacrifice, or whatever your actually particular story is, right? That then becomes this blueprint. So that's sitting in your field. And so really kind of honing in on that is going to be incredibly helpful, because once you move into that conscious awareness of your sub and unconscious, as well as your life blueprint, then you are in creatorship. You fully are moving as you chose from the soul level when you came into this life. And you can rewrite all of it, which is the cool thing, once it's all brought to awareness. So just knowing that if these patterns keep on coming up, to break it through the deeper work, rather than just kind of like visualizing. Number 3, vibration. Okay, vibration, high vibration, honestly is key. It's everything. And the amazing part is about the law of attraction and the way that this matrix works is like your vibrational state determines your circumstances. But when the circumstances, which is the teacher, which is the reflection, not only of just your frequency, but of a greater play out of the collective or of the soul blueprint, is reflecting to you, this non-reaction to the circumstances and maintaining the frequency is of ultimate importance. So this is easy when you're in a good state. You're like, yeah, I got this, I'm doing good. But when certain things happen, outside of your seeming control, or like my vibration didn't attract that, what's going on? Well, sometimes it's actually like a test, like a little test of the higher self to be like, did you really change? Do you really believe that you are a new person? And so these circumstances outside as the reflection mirror can come up again and test you. And I see this, this has happened dozens and dozens of times when I have internally shifted, have a new vibration, have a new whole like belief system structure aligned to this new way of being. That old, kind of like a foggy mirror will come up and be like, are you sure? Are you sure? And in that moment, it's this real opportunity to break through to the next level. And it's the final test of that level of the game. And so when those come up, it's really key to stay in that vibration. And then it truly tests you if you truly have changed on a core level. Really, vibration determines so much. And I know that it can be challenging in the world, and there's things that we all go through, and there's like depression and anxiety and these different energies. But I'm here to tell you that truly being in a high state, and a high state doesn't always have to mean happiness, but at least internal peace and a vivaciousness for life and existence really does pay off. And even in my career, just through this YouTube time and stuff, I'm talking about some pretty, risque, outlandish, out there, alien type things. And the idea of trolling, a little bit, you'll have a little bit of those like Christian, crazy comments and stuff, but not really. There's not really been a resistance from the reality mirror to the things that I'm creating and generating. And I feel like that's a complete direct correlation to my state. And to my state and my core beliefs, and the core beliefs is even deeper than just say like on the surface vibration of the moment. But when your core beliefs, and we can go into all these different subjects in other videos, align, then that's truly how you're determining and law of attraction, determining your reality. And so I truly believe that everything is conspiring in my favor and unfolding to its greatest benefit, even if I can't understand it sometimes. And that's one of the really important things to remember, is that we can't know on kind of the human level the greater play out, what creation, our higher selves like have in store for us on the good side. So this is kind of like number 2 was like, okay, well, you got to kind of figure out the sub and unconscious, things that are challenging you. But on this side, is to truly get to a place within yourself where you know that your life is unfolding to your greatest benefit in each moment, and holding that as your core, and truly that is what begins to manifest whatever you want. And in these specific states of manifesting on specific levels, it again takes that knowingness, and that comes from probability and this idea of to the threshold of what you think is believable and possible in your life. So as you have this belief system that everything's working out, and you're wanting to go towards this particular manifestation or a thing that you're attracting, it's really important to know if it's in your spectrum of possibility. Like, do you actually believe that it can happen and you can win the lottery and someone hands you a check for $1 million? Like, do you actually believe that? And really, when you check in, it's probably a no. So having realistic dreams of manifestation is really important. And when you do that, and when you start like step by step to what you believe is possible, that's the key, because you believe it, which is then your vibrational state, which will then attract it or not. So I've seen this time and time again, and when I put out there for something new or something bigger, it requires that knowingness where you see it as a probability. And so it's this embodiment of the vibration. And that's why you see, which we'll get into in number 4, which is like act as if, you are the vibration of that thing so that it then can manifest. Now, the question you might be having is, well, what happens if I get off? Like, if I get off state, and does it just ruin everything like that I've created, or I have a down day and I don't believe that this certain thing is possible? Will it crash everything? And in the beginning stages, no, like it won't. Like it's going to be okay. There's an overriding momentum that will carry you through towards that manifestation. But as you get to these higher, more adept levels of manifestation in the law of attraction, and you come into greater alignment with your creatorhood, you literally are changing that reality mirror. Like, you are determining the outcome on such a grand level of this world, of your timeline, that it's instant manifestation at that point. And ultimate precision is really required. And this is kind of one of the things that I'm seeing in my own life, because there's such drastic manifestations of my own energy that come up in my world. I'm like, shit, I gotta be freaking on this. And there's no room for error. There's no room to go down in energy. There's no room to be triggered because of these particular situations. And of course, that can come up. And as quickly and as gracefully as we can accept that part of ourselves that's scared or might not believe it or needs comfort or needs safety, we go into those quick things so that we can shift through it quickly. So in those situations, it's just shifting as quickly as you possibly can. But the thing is it's one of those things that usually the prerequisites to even get to that greater creator manifestation level means that you've been able to shift states quite quickly. So you'll end up being fine exactly where you're at. And that goes back to number one, being cool with where you're at and really truly accepting that on a really deep core level. Okay, number four. That's an interesting one. I don't know if that's like an alien 4. Anyways, number 4 is physicalization. Critical. Now, we can sit there and we can visualize all day long about these things that we would love to happen in our lives, of how we want to, teleport and open up our extrasensory abilities, and we just sit there and we visualize it. But I'm here to tell you that this is a physical reality. And if you want to manifest this thing that you want, if it's truly who you are, you would naturally take the physical measures to have that happen. It would be like autopilot for you to do that thing. So when it truly becomes, like, say you're getting healthy or something, it would be natural. It would be unconscious, right? Because it's going to that deep level, that you would open the fridge and you would grab like a piece of celery. You wouldn't grab like the candy bar, because it's actually truly innately who you are. And so that's what we're getting to. When you're starting, you actually do need to take the physical steps to get the momentum of that vibration, like in your body, in your vibration, in your cells, so that it can start rippling into manifestation. So like when they say in like law of attraction stuff, okay, you want that car, okay, go out and test drive, the Tesla, and then you can get in the vibrational state of what that would be like and who that person would be that would drive the Tesla. So in the beginning, those actual physical steps of taking action are absolutely critical. And before even taking the physical steps, you have to determine what you wish in your life, because these programs from the external world are telling you who you want to be and what you're supposed to do. So it actually takes a real framework designing what you want your life to be, who you want to be, and staying really clear in the initial, and that's where like intentionality and design comes in. And then when that design is laid out, then of course going to the level of physicalizing that and taking the actual steps to do it, rather than going, okay, I would like $1 million. It's like, well, what do you want the $1 million for? Is it so that you can like travel the world? Is it so that you can clean up the oceans? Like, what is the actual thing you want to do in the physical reality? And also, what are ways that you can take action to do it? so that you're working with creation. You're working with yourself instead of just being like, hand me these things. I want my girlfriend or want my new boyfriend to knock on my door. It's like, okay, you're gonna have to put yourself out there, you know? And there are times where things literally just knock on your door, but that's after the momentum's built. So this idea of actually embodying and taking the physical steps that person, that version of you would be if you were to manifest that particular thing. You actually have to put it out there. You have to go for something. You have to state it. You have to clarify it, and then take the actions to do it. And it works. And it's a little bit scary, maybe. I think that's one of the ways that why we kind of hush back in this, like, I'm just going to meditate and visualize on it, is because it's a little bit scary. But the funny thing is when you go out in it, that's part of pushing past that fear, and that's the true kind of threshold, proving to yourself and the reflection mirror that you are kind of worthy, or that you're ready, or that's who you are. So the physicalization is critical, and that's one of, I think, the biggest things that I see people not actually doing. And I do physicalization all the time. I have to make this video right now because that's physicalizing me in talking about this concept right now. So physicalization is key. And remembering that when it truly is you, it is innate, it is inherent, and you will do it naturally. And that's truly when you know that it's integrated. And then everything will manifest in perfect order in that particular category of what you've done. So good job. Number 5, which has been one of the most powerful tools for me, is the law of repulsion. So the idea is not only are we attracting with our vibration, right? Whatever our vibrational state is on belief system level, subconscious, what we're radiating will then reflect in our reality. We're also in this amazing game of playing with repulsion. Now, this has been such a helpful tool for me because in the past, one of the themes that I've worked with is like martyrdom or a little bit of victimhood in certain categories. And this is such a helpful thing for empaths, and also this idea of boundaries, because we want to like put up shields against the world, or we want to put up shields against certain people or certain circumstances to not come to us. Probably things that were traumatized, probably these things that have been challenges in our template manifestation, right? We're like, and you kind of do this thing. But the thing that does is that actually, again, puts you in the vibration of, no, I don't want that, which is clearly stating that that is something that you believe can actually happen to you. So this is a really important one, especially with people that have had trauma or more on the defensive life, because then you're going to create that thing coming at you, and your shield will never hold it up, because the mirror is trying to teach you something, and so it'll keep on bombarding you until you get this concept. So in this space, the law of repulsion is you be freaking you. You be who you are. You be empowered. You be radiant. You be vibrant. You speak that. You act that. You live that. And that ripples. That frickin' radiates. And anything that's not aligned with that will run. We'll be like, I can't do anything to her, or like I can't, get in there with him, or I can't manipulate. It's not even a concept. It's like, right? And it just ripples out. So it's the ultimate form of safety. And what it's also doing is it's being able to radiate out this thing that's you, which means that the things that you are meant to be in connection with and in communion with can find you. Because if you're sending out the signal and you're beaming it and you're radiating it, then that can find you. And if you're like, and like, not wanting certain things to happen, then that's definitely going to happen. And so it's a really great skill. And the beauty of it too is that which kind of like moves away from you and isn't your vibration, can do what it needs to do to help and assist in its own way and find its own place. So this is kind of the thing, if you're in a pickle, right, with like, I don't know, a relationship, job, whatever in your world, and you're in a pickle situation, you can of course use the law of attraction to clarify what you do want. That's so critical. And then with the particular situation that you're pickled in, you be you. You say you do all those things, and that will naturally rearrange and reorient your whole reality. So then, okay, that boss that keeps on bugging you or whatever, and you actually step into who you are, you hold your vibration, you don't have the drama conversations with your friends, whatever it is, you hold that vibration, and those things will naturally be like, go away from you. It might try and kind of like take you down as it's leaving. It might be like punch you, test you to see if it's really what you're choosing. And this is where it can be hard, like sometimes actually, is to let go of the things that suck, to let go of the things that are challenging you, the things that are hurting you, the things that like are not you. Sometimes it's like, are you really willing to let go of that? And are you really ready to be like this amazing person and have amazing things happen? And that's really one of the biggest questions. So that's why I love the law of repulsion, is because there's no excuses. There's no excuses. Like, you can do the law of attraction and you can say, well, it just hasn't come to me yet. I'm not quite that vibration. But with the law of repulsion, you have to say without a doubt that you are this and you are not interested in that, and clarify that frequency. So it's pretty badass, very helpful. So those are my top 5 law of attraction manifestation keys that have been incredibly helpful to me. They've worked, absolutely. I've lived by these principles for years. I've manifested my dreams. Anything that hasn't manifested yet is just me not allowing that level of next greatness, and rewriting that, redesigning that. And so it's pretty spectacular, and it can be whatever you want it to be. It can be that you want to be an amazing heart-centered person, and then it's like, what are the actions that require that? Well, meditation, gratitude, taking time for myself, service, whatever it is. So what do you want? Who do you want to be? Clarify that, number 1, and do everything in your power to become that mind, body, and spirit. And you will manifest, seriously, anything you can dream of. And we can totally change the world when we're all doing this and all in alignment with who we are meant to be. So thank you so much for watching. It's so fun to be back. I haven't made a video in like a month, and it was a little bit challenging to get the momentum going. See, but I have to do it. I have to act, or else that energy starts to close up, and then you got to keep it moving. So thanks so much for watching. If you like videos like this, please like and subscribe. Of course, head over to my Instagram for more daily updates from me. And I have a great, good stuff coming your way for ways of deeper connection with us in community, online and in person retreats. So check that out. The links are in the description for anything that you want to do to connect in person and to connect with like-hearted tribe. So appreciate it so much. Thank you. Right below what you want to create, what you want to attract, who you are. Love you.